Welcome! In this explainer, we're going to pull back the curtain on the invisible magic that connects our entire digital world. We're talking about the tech that powers everything from your wireless headphones all the way up to those massive global data centers.
All right, so here's our roadmap for today. We're going to start with the networks you use every single day, then scale all the way up to the internet itself. After that, we'll dive into the secret language devices use to talk to each other, see how all of this powers the cloud, and finally, explore what this could mean for your future.
So first up, where does networking even begin? Well, the answer is, it's all around you. You are literally using it right now, and it's the very first step into this huge, interconnected world we all live in.
Have you ever wondered about that? I mean, every single time you pair your headphones or ask your smart speaker for the weather or stream a show, you're using a computer network. It's the absolute foundation that makes our digital lives even possible.
Okay, so now let's see how this whole thing builds on itself. We're going to zoom out from the tiny network that's just for you and keep expanding our view until we're looking at the network that spans the entire globe.
So it all starts at the smallest scale, the PAN, or Personal Area Network. Think of this as your personal connectivity bubble. It's what links your gadgets together, like your phone syncing with your smartwatch, or your laptop connecting to a wireless mouse. It's simple, it's convenient, and it's all about you.
Next up, we've got the LAN, or Local Area Network. Now, this is probably the one you're most familiar with. It's the Wi-Fi in your house, right? Or at the coffee shop or your office. It's what connects your laptop, your phone, your gaming console, and your smart TV, so they can all talk to each other at really high speeds. So if we scale up from there, we get to the CAN, or Campus Area Network. A CAN is basically just a network of a bunch of interconnected LANs. It's what links all the different buildings across a university campus or big hospital complex, creating one seamless network over a much bigger area.
And finally, we have the biggest one of all, the WAN, or Wide Area Network. A WAN connects everything, LANs, CANs, across huge distances. We're talking cities, countries, even continents. And the internet you're using to watch this right now? Well, that is the ultimate WAN, connecting billions of devices all over the world.
This table just lays it all out perfectly. Just look at that coverage area column for a second. As you go down the list from PAN to WAN, you go from just a few meters to the entire globe. That sense of scale is just incredible, and you can see how each one is optimized for its main job, sometimes trading crazy speed for massive reach. It's really all about using the right tool for the right job.
Okay, so we have all these devices connected to all these different kinds of networks. But how does your computer, when you type in a website, find the one correct server out of millions and then talk to the one specific web application on that server? It all comes down to having the right address. And to really get this, let's use a super simple analogy. Imagine the entire internet is just one giant apartment complex, and every single device connected to it is one of the buildings in that complex. For any message to get delivered, it needs a very, very specific address.
So first, you need the street address for the building itself, right? In the world of networking, that's the IP address. It is a unique identifier for every single device, making sure that all the little packets of data get sent to the correct computer or phone or server.
But hey, just getting to the right building isn't enough, is it? Your computer is probably running a web browser, an email program, maybe a game, all at the same time. How does it know that this data is for Netflix and that data is for your game? That's where the port comes in. It's like the apartment number, directing the data to the correct application inside the device. So the real magic, the crucial piece, is the socket. A socket is simply the combination of the IP address and the port number, the street address and the apartment number, together. This creates a totally unique endpoint, a specific door, that allows two applications to talk directly to each other from anywhere in the world. Now let's see how these really basic networking ideas, these addresses and ports and sockets, are the very things that make the modern cloud even possible.
You know, when we say the cloud, it sounds all mysterious, doesn't it? But really, all we're talking about is using someone else's computers, their servers, their storage, their software, over the internet. And that access usually comes in three main flavors: infrastructure, platform, and software as a service. You'll hear them called IaaS, PaaS, and SaaS.
This chart shows the difference perfectly, so let's just walk through it. Over on the far left, you have SaaS, software as a service. Think of stuff like Gmail or Office 365. You don't manage anything. The provider handles it all. It's like checking into a hotel where everything is done for you. Now on the complete opposite end, on the far right, is IaaS, Infrastructure as a Service. Here you manage almost everything yourself, from the operating system on up. This is like renting an empty apartment. You get the space, but it's up to you to bring in the furniture and set it all up. And PaaS, Platform as a Service, that's right in the middle, giving you a nice balance of control and convenience.
Okay, let's bring all of this back home and talk about why understanding this digital plumbing is way more than just a fun fact. Honestly, it can be a total game changer for your career.
Think about it. Technology is the heartbeat of the modern world, and networking is its circulatory system. So the demand for people who can build, manage, and fix these systems, it's enormous. In the US alone, they're projecting there will be over 50,000 new job openings for network specialists every single year.
So what does it actually take to succeed in this field? Well, it's really a blend of different skills. You absolutely need the technical know-how about protocols and hardware. You need an analytical mind to be a great troubleshooter. And crucially, you need strong communication skills to explain really complex issues to other people. And because tech never, ever stops changing, a love for continuous learning is an absolute must.
Look, at the end of the day, understanding networking means you understand the very backbone of our modern world. It is the foundation that our entire digital society is built on. The principles we've talked about today are the building blocks, and the opportunities to use them to build and shape the future, well, they're right there, just waiting for you.